In December 2006, inside an execution chamber in Baghdad, a man stood calmly just moments before his death. For more than 20 decades, he had ruled Iraq with immense power. He fought major wars, challenged powerful nations, and became one of the most controversial leaders in modern history. That man was Saddam Hussein. To some people, Saddam Hussein was a dictator whose rule brought suffering and war. To others, he was a strong Arab leader who stood against global powers and defended the independence of his country. But who was Saddam Hussein really? How did a poor boy from a small Iraqi village rise to rule one of the most important countries in the Middle East? And how did his rule end in such a dramatic way? Today, we explore the rise, power, wars, and fall of Saddam Hussein. Before we continue, if you enjoy historical documentaries like this one, make sure to subscribe to the channel and support our work so we can continue sharing powerful stories from history. Saddam Hussein was born in 1937 in the small village of Al-Awja near the city of Tikrit. His early life was extremely difficult. His father disappeared before he was born, and Saddam grew up in poverty and hardship. Many historians believe these difficult early years shaped his personality and created the tough and determined character that later defined his leadership. As a young man, Saddam became interested in politics and joined the Arab Socialist Ba'ath Party, a movement that promoted Arab unity, nationalism, and strong leadership. During the 1960s, Iraq experienced constant political instability. Coups and political struggles were common, and different groups competed for power. Saddam Hussein quickly became an influential figure within the Ba'ath Party. He was known for his ambition, discipline, and political strategy. In 1979, Saddam Hussein officially became the president of Iraq. Now he controlled a country rich in oil and strategically important in the Middle East. During the early years of his rule, Iraq experienced significant development. The government invested heavily in infrastructure, education, healthcare, and military power. Universities expanded, hospitals were built, and the country used its oil wealth to modernize many parts of its economy. However, Saddam's leadership was also known for strict political control. Opposition to the government was not tolerated, and power remained highly centralized. In 1980, Saddam Hussein made another decision that would dramatically change the region. He launched a war against neighboring Iran. This conflict became known as the Iran-Iraq War. The war lasted 8 long years and became one of the longest and most destructive conflicts in modern Middle Eastern history. Hundreds of thousands of soldiers and civilians were killed, and both countries suffered enormous economic damage. By 1988, the war finally ended without a clear victory for either side. But Iraq's economy had been severely weakened by the cost of the conflict. Saddam Hussein was also widely known for his strong stance in the Arab-Israeli conflict. He openly supported the Palestinian cause and maintained close relations with Palestinian leaders such as Yasser Arafat. Iraq provided financial support to Palestinians and allowed many Palestinian refugees living in Iraq to receive citizenship rights, something that was rare in many countries in the region. During the Palestinian uprising known as the Second Intifada, Saddam publicly expressed his solidarity with the Palestinian people and announced the creation of a symbolic volunteer force known as the Jerusalem Army. In 1981, Iraq faced another major challenge when Israel launched a surprise military operation known as Operation Opera. Israeli aircraft destroyed Iraq's unfinished nuclear reactor at Osirak, fearing that Iraq might eventually develop nuclear weapons. This attack increased tensions between Iraq and Israel and became one of the most dramatic moments of the conflict between the two countries. In 1990, Saddam Hussein made another decision that shocked the world. Iraq invaded the neighboring country of Kuwait. The invasion triggered an international response. A US-led coalition launched the Gulf War to force Iraqi forces out of Kuwait. Within weeks, Iraqi forces were defeated and withdrew from the country. During the conflict, Iraq also launched missile attacks towards Israel in an attempt to widen the war and create divisions among the coalition forces. After the war, Iraq faced severe international sanctions that damaged the country's economy and affected many ordinary citizens. Years later, tensions between Iraq and the United States continued to increase. In 2003, the United States and its allies launched the 2003 invasion of Iraq. Within weeks, Saddam Hussein's government collapsed and Iraqi forces were defeated. However, Saddam himself disappeared and went into hiding. For months, he became one of the most wanted men in the world. In December 2003, Saddam Hussein was finally captured by US forces near Tikrit. He was found hiding in a small underground shelter, an event that shocked people across the world. After his capture, Saddam Hussein was put on trial in Iraq for crimes committed during his rule. On December 30, 2006, Saddam Hussein was executed after being convicted by an Iraqi court. His death marked the end of one of the most controversial political eras in modern Middle Eastern history. During Saddam's rule, Iraq experienced periods of development, but also devastating wars and political repression. After his fall in 2003, Iraq entered a long period of instability and conflict. The country faced political struggles, sectarian violence, and the rise of extremist groups like ISIS, which later captured large areas of Iraq before being defeated. Even today, Iraq continues rebuilding after decades of war and instability. The story of Saddam Hussein remains one of the most debated and complex chapters in modern history. Some remember him as a powerful leader who challenged global powers. Others remember him as a ruler whose decisions brought suffering and conflict. But regardless of perspective, his life and leadership changed the course of Iraq and the Middle East forever. If you found this documentary interesting, make sure to subscribe to the channel and join us for more powerful stories from history.